Hello, my name is Patty McLean. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a nana, and I'm here today to talk about concealer hacks. One of the most questions that I get, actually the most question that I get, is how to keep your concealer from caking under here and how to get your foundation not to cake, especially for those who are in my age group, which is 58 years old. So from 50 on, even 45 on, I get those questions. So today we're going to talk about concealer and a couple of things that I've learned from the great Wayne Goss, but I've also learned some things from my colleagues and other YouTubers that are around my same age that I watch. I tend not to watch those who are in their 20s because the way that they apply their concealer, which is in this dark circle or in this inner circle to all the way around and sometimes in a triangle, does not work for me. There are a lot of people that have dark circles that come all the way around. I personally don't know anyone like that, but I know that there are people because I've seen videos and things like that. So if you are one of those ladies who have the dark circles go from your inner corner all the way to the end of your lash line, this particular trick may not work for you, although I would encourage you to try it. Always try something new, right? So what I'm going to tell you about is what Wayne has taught me is that in here, this little inner circle right here is the only place that does not wrinkle and it does not move. Everything else on your face is beginning to drop. Right? This does not drop. This little inner circle in here will not wrinkle and will not drop. It will stay firm. It will not, it won't do what everything else in your face is, and that's falling down. So the trick that I'm going to show you is to use very, very little concealer and very, very little foundation. And you're going to need, so those two things you'll need, and then you'll need a damp beauty blender kind of like this, and then your favorite face powder. This happens to be mine. It's called Prime and Set. It has water capsules inside of it, so when you shake it up, it activates those and provides a blurring effect. I'm going to show you that in just a minute. So let me illustrate to you what I mean by this skin not moving. Now I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that way you can see what I'm talking about. So when you smile, all of this here wrinkles up, right? Because your cheeks lift up, push it up. See, all of this area is wrinkled, right? But what did you notice about this inner corner here? It did not move. Watch again. This area right here is not moving. That is where you're going to apply the concealer. If you're like most women and you don't have extreme darkness down here. So again, Wayne Goss, he did this actually on his video. I need to give him credit in this video. So if you smile, this here does not move. So you don't need to put, unless you have extreme darkness, this is where the concealer is going to go. And I've been doing this technique for a little bit now since I watched him, and it works like magic. Okay, so I'm going to do it the wrong way and the right way. That way you can see the difference of it. So first, I'm going to take a concealer that is a lighter color. I like to cover and brighten at the same time. So that's what we're going to do with this. A lot of people, and I recommend this to new concealer users, to use the same shade that you do with your foundation, okay? So we're just going to take, I'm literally just going to take this little bitty brush and just take a little bit off. That is actually too much, so I'm going to take some of that off. I'm even going to put it on my hand because it's way too much. That is way too much concealer. So we're just going to pick a little bit up and we're going to put it right here on the inner corner, and we're just going to cover all of this right here. Just like that. Now, when I smile, you notice that does not move. That's where we want the concealer to go. Now you take this finger here or your pinky finger, whichever one. I like to use this one. It's the lightest touch. And you just begin to pat that in. And you want to pat it in so it looks visibly lighter there, okay? And you want to make sure that you have enough, but you're just patting it in. You can also use a smaller beauty blender to do that. But for these purposes, we're going to just use our fingers. And we're just patting that in just like that. So you can take it and you can kind of feather it down a little. What we're doing is just creating light in this area. It's going to brighten everything up, just like that. It's visibly lighter, already looks better. I feather this down just a little bit more, make sure that I have enough, take it off my hand. And again, when you smile, it doesn't move. Okay, now we're gonna do the other side. We're gonna do it incorrectly though, for my age, for our age, I would say over 45. That's just what I would say. So we're gonna take some off. Again, way too much. I always do that. And we're just gonna start from the inner corner, and we're going to bring it down. Because there's so much of it, we're gonna use this. Now, I don't know if you can see from the camera angle, but this eye looks a lot smaller than this eye. Now, I'm not trying to make this one look worse than this one, because I have done my concealer this way when I'm not thinking and I'm just in a hurry. You can do your concealer this way if this is what you prefer. You'll just need to add some darkness or some shadow underneath to make your eye look bigger again. So for me, that would be using more product, and that's not what I'm about. I'm all about less is more. But again, if you want the eye to look larger, which when it looks larger, it looks more youthful. In essence, you look more youthful. So then when you've got more product under the eye and you smile, all of those lines and wrinkles are going to show worse, just because that's just how it is. There is no foundation that can completely take the lines away from your face. Please look at it as a badge of honor that you've lived this long to have lines. Think of them as laugh lines. I know there's some of them are worry lines, but think of most of them as laugh lines. So again, when you smile, these lines are going to be more prominent than these. And then when you add a setting product to it, this area right here is going to get worse and worse during the day as the day wears on, because although you can wear a powder, please know you can wear a setting powder correctly, but with all of this product here, it's just going to get into those lines and make it look worse all day long. Whereas this side is just how it's going to be all day long. You're going to set this, but there won't be a lot of product in that area. And so remember, when you put a dark, let's do that. Let's add a little bit of mascara. Wayne Goss did this in his video, so let's do that too. So we can kind of illustrate how it might look if you put a dark eyeshadow on top of this foundation or this concealer here. Now, I haven't put any foundation on, obviously. That would make a difference, but just for illustration purposes, when you add a touch of mascara, and then when you smile, all of that just gets intensified. So you really want, if you've got bags or dark circles, you'll have to add more once you add to hide that, if that makes sense. So I hope this was helpful. I'm going to do my whole face the correct way. Going to take this side off, do my whole face the correct way, and I'll throw a picture up after. All right, I'll talk to you soon.